See how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah. I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay. Hey. Yeah. Ain't no errors, baby. It's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Colby, we got 480 Nacho, Dingo, Corey, Sid Apple, Julio, Javier. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Up and foremost, do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way in. Appreciate you guys for being here. We are on the road to 19K. Cannot do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here. Today, yes, you're seeing this title correctly, ladies and gentlemen, because of what we've been hearing from yesterday. A slew of a lot of different information coming in. What the heck is getting a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans speculating that the Arizona Cardinals can potentially trade away Kyler Murray. Now, we're going to be diving into this and painting this a picture to kind of get you to understand where we're coming from. Now, of course, this is all speculation. There's nothing out there right now from the big guys like Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, any of those guys, and nobody's saying anything right now, but I don't think anybody really knows exactly what's happening with Kyler. What we do know right now is that Jacoby Brissett and Kyler Murray are quarterback 1 and 2, and we were told multiple different times from Jonathan Gannon, if Kyler Murray is healthy, he should be quarterback 1 for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, here's a big speculation out there. Is Kyler Murray healthy, right? That's the big question. The latest injury report that we ended up seeing on Thursday, which is yesterday, and today is Friday. Actually, happy Halloween out there, everybody. I forgot to say that. Happy Halloween. Hopefully, everybody's going to have a fantastic day today. But continue to what we were talking about. Yesterday, the injury report came out from Kyler Murray, and he was limited, right? That's not the thing that I really want to focus on. He's limited. He probably will be limited today as well. Now, of course, we got an extra day because we're all actually playing on Monday Night Football compared to on Sunday. So we got a little bit of time to kind of really figure out and have all these developments unfold. But the truth of the nature here is, ladies and gentlemen, that everybody has a right to have these speculations because it's so weird. It's so absolutely weird right now that the way the Cardinals organization is unfolding this storyline before our very eyes, they have to be up to something. If they're not up to something, then they are just the most clueless organization out there. And it's unfortunate that I'm a Cardinal fan. Like, let's just leave it at that, right? But like the way that this is being laid out, it just almost seems picture perfect. But like I said, sometimes I give this organization a little too much credit for what it's worth. But ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about all the things that you need to know about why people are talking about. Is Kyler Murray on the move? Is he not on the move, right? So let's go ahead and get started here, ladies and gentlemen. We do got our first super chat of the day. We got over 58 of you guys here right now. Smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Do that favor for me right now. Smack up the like button. Let other Cardinal fans know right now that we are currently live. And we need to have a conversation and a discussion here in the YouTube chat. So make sure subscribe it up, ladies and gentlemen. So we got our first super chat of the day. We got Julio Parra on the chat saying trade Kyler. Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we have been familiar and grown to accustom on this channel. We were first on the Fire Cliff train. I didn't get on the Fire Petzing train because I don't think it's fully Petzing's fault, although I do believe he's probably not capable of being an offensive coordinator. But now we're turning our focus on to the Kyler Murray situation, and let's dive into it because there's a lot. Okay, so this all started yesterday. Now, multiple reports came out from Arizona Sports, right? Multiple reports came out that Kyler Murray is practicing, right? We know that. Now, we already know per the injury reports that he's limited, right? The reps that were going for the majority to your number ones on a Thursday. Now, things can change on a Friday. Like I said, we might be a few hours ahead of things and things can get clarified in the next hour or two, right? But I want to open up the conversation. I want to paint the picture of what happened on Thursday. So practice happened. Multiple reports. Some reports said that only Jacoby Brissett was throwing to the number ones and the number ones. But that I don't think that's actually 100% correct. I think that there was a split between Kyler throwing to the ones as well as Jacoby Brissett throwing to the ones as well. But I believe when you're actually breaking it down to the who got the majority of the reps to the number ones, I believe that was Jacoby Brissett. Now, also please keep in mind that the media availability, the open part of the practice, is only a certain portion for them to report on and watch from the sidelines, right? There's another part of practice that they're not privy to or they can't report to. So also keep that in mind as well. Is this something where Jonathan Gannon is coming out and saying, hey, I'm going to keep you guys in the dark as much as I possibly can because a competitive advantage, which we'll get to that in a little bit. Honestly, this whole shtick of Jonathan Gannon is really starting to wear thin on me. I'm gonna be real. We'll talk about that a little later on, but let's continue this conversation. So, Jonathan Gannon, when the media ended up asking him yesterday, are you preparing for Kyler Murray to start? He said yes. That's it. Just quick. Yes. That's it. That's it. Didn't elaborate, didn't provide any details, nothing like that. Just said yes. Now, another weird thing is that Kyler Murray speaks every single Wednesday. Every single Wednesday. At least that's when the quarterback speaks. The Cardinals made it apparent to cancel that availability for the Arizona Cardinals quarterback to speak, and that was supposed to be Kyler Murray's scheduled to speak on Wednesday. They canceled it to push it further into the later on part of the week. Now, are we going to know by today, by Saturday? Well, we technically got one more day of aka bonus day per Jonathan Gannon, so we might not know until actually Saturday. Now, who speaks to the media is going to be pretty important. Is it going to be Jacoby Brissett speaking in the locker room like he's usually doing, or is it truly going to be Kyler Murray? That's the big speculation out there. So to kind of put it all up in the boat, right, and kind of let you guys decide on what's going on, the Cardinals canceled the Kyler Murray availability to speak on Wednesday. And on top of that, the split share of what's happening, who Jacoby Brissett is throwing the ball to in the open part of practice. For the majority, it was Jacoby throwing it to your Trey as well as Marvin Harrison Jr., right? And then Marvin comes out with a blatant smile and says, oh, I don't know who's going to be the quarterback either, right? I don't know. You know damn well you know who's going to be the quarterback on Monday. You know damn well who's going to be the quarterback on Monday. But this organization, and the fourth one, Kyler's limited on Thursday. Now, if he's limited on Friday, then we start to think, okay, this truly might be Jacoby Brissett's show. This truly might be Jacoby Brissett's show. But all these things that are stacking up on Monday Night Football for either Kyler to start or Jacoby to start is the big speculation and the swirling. Also keep in mind that the trade deadline will be the next day on Tuesday. So we got a game on Monday and the trade deadline will be on Tuesday. So can the Arizona Cardinals be one of those organizations that are now starting to plan for the future and plan for a potential new quarterback one to take the helm in 2026? Now, I've read multiple comments, and I don't think people quite understand. Nobody out there is saying Jacoby Brissett should sign a 3 or 4 year extension. Nobody is saying that. And for some reason, people don't get that. What people are saying is that if you trade Kyler Murray and try to accumulate some draft picks for 2026 and ride out Jacoby Brissett, regardless if we're a 3 or 4 win team, it doesn't matter because you're playing for 2026. So that's what people are saying. You're almost taking a mulligan of a year to kind of try to see what you could salvage of a quarterback that's not the future. And that's Kyler Murray, right? So I don't think people quite understand. And I mean, there are some people out there that feel like there's a little sliver of hope too. The Baltimore Ravens, they were 2-5 as well. They got their third win of the season. And there's already optimism in the air for the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens do have Lamar, so that's different. They have Lamar, so that's different. And the division is different too. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. This sickness doesn't let me go. Give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been under the weather for a little bit. And it's now starting to kind of come back. So This is what everybody's speculating about. We don't know. We don't know. Now, going back to Jonathan Gannon, why I'm kind of over his shtick. Jeez. Good God. 1 second. This is what we're going to do. 1 second. Keep the conversation going right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go get a dang cough drop. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, cough drop inserted. Okay, so that's what the big conversation is going on right now in terms of like what's truly happening with the Arizona Cardinals. Can we be over, blowing things out of proportion? We can be. We can be, absolutely. But honestly, this is weird. This is really, really weird. Now, another thing that I want to note is that I ended up sending a message on over to my guy, John Gambadoro, which Arizona Sports. I ended up asking him. I said, "Hey, do you think that he can actually get traded?" And he responded. Shout out to my guy Gambo. He's saying this. No, Kyler Murray is not getting traded. There have been no calls for him, and they're not shopping him. Now, you are never supposed to say never, but I don't see any team calling to make a blockbuster offer. Okay. So, there it is. My guy, John Gambadoro from Arizona Sports, is just coming out, responding back to me here on X and Twitter. Appreciate it, by the way. Saying this. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. There it is. I said, do you think that a trade can happen? Would you be surprised if the Arizona Cardinals decided to move off of him? He says, no, Kyler Murray is not getting traded. There have been no calls for him, and they are not shopping him. Now, you're never supposed to say never, but I don't see any team making a blockbuster offer. That's going to be really, like, that kind of goes to show right there, right? It kind of goes to show that, like, I don't think anybody really wants Kyler, if I'm going to be real with you. I don't think anybody wants Kyler Murray. That's kind of sad. But the truth of the nature here is, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of stuck with them. Let's read some comments here. Well, apparently nothing. John Johnson, mystery solved. Yep. That's funny. Here's the thing, and that's what I said a little earlier when we went on a live stream. Before we went, in the beginning, sometimes I give this organization way too much credit. Sometimes. If they were smart, they should. Move off of them. Well, what they're probably going to do is ride out the season. The season probably will get not fixed, but they probably will end off the season at 5 or 6 wins, maybe 7 wins, and then they kind of ruin their draft capital. That's probably what's going to happen. Tony in the chat says Kyler's making $43 million plus a year. Would you want to pay him that? I don't want to pay him that much. Heck no, I don't. Heck no. But the hope was that there was a team that was, hopefully that wanted him. But per my guy here, John Gambadoro, there have been no calls for him, and they're not shopping him. So take that as you will, right? Take that as you will. There's the people that probably don't want him. So that's interesting. That's very, very interesting. Let's keep it with the chat. Why would anyone want Kyler when he hasn't done? I mean, why would people still support Kyler Murray? I mean, you might have it. You might have a general manager that really is not good at their job and probably only knows his name, and they see his what's the word? They see his rookie of the year, 2-time Pro Bowl in the beginning of his career, and probably don't really follow him very much. But he needs to save his job. There's always a general manager or some sort of front office that would do something like that. So good question. But on the other side of the coin, you might have a person that might be able to do so, right? So going back to the question, is Kyler Murray truly getting traded? No, I just think it's all speculation going on, from this fan base and probably local media as well. But my guy Gambo shutting it down. It's not getting traded. But he also just says, now, you are never supposed to say never, but I don't see any team calling to make a blockbuster offer. And that's probably what it will take, a blockbuster offer. Now, I don't know what that blockbuster offer is. I mean, I don't think a lot of Cardinal fans even want Kyler anymore. And I think he knows that as well. Has anybody ever noticed that Kyler Murray's YouTube channel, whenever they lose, he doesn't post vlogs? Anybody notice that? But when they win, he posts vlogs. I'm assuming the Arizona Cardinals and him have some sort of agreement that, yes, you can actually have something personal out there, but if it's affecting your winning and you're not winning, don't post it. Or at least, is that coincidental? I don't know. But Kyler Murray's vlogs stop ever since our 5-game losing streak. But if the Cardinals win, you probably bet your bet him dollar, you're going to probably have him throw a vlog out there on his YouTube channel. And it's a watch, right? It's something to kind of, kill time, 10, 15 minutes sometimes if you want to sit there and watch, what athletes do with their millions and millions of dollars. It's cool to watch. But it's crazy. I don't think anybody wants him. I don't think anybody wants this guy. Let's keep it with the chat. Javier in the chat says, at the most, Kyler is worth a 3rd-round pick. I mean, with that contract, he's still young. Maybe a 3rd-round pick might be able to be done. Maybe. Let's go with Kevin. What's up, Kevin? I also think the team that needs a quarterback would rather draft a younger quarterback that has a better contract. Plus, I think the Cardinals would ask so much more for him, and he isn't worth that much. Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Because, I mean, what has Kyler Murray truly accomplished? Like, let's be real with ourselves. Like, let's be real. What has he accomplished? Nothing. So, all the speculation that we're seeing within the last 24 hours, it almost kind of seems moot. I think there was a sliver of hope that, man, this organization potentially can be doing something smart. Because I said this once a couple weeks ago. The moment that we lost to the damn Titans, if the Cardinals were smart, they would probably try to start planning for the future here. But the problem is that they're not. This organization is constantly always putting themselves in the corner and always trying to scramble for a solution. I'm out on Monty. I'm really out on Monty. Jonathan Gannon and his whole shtick of, I want to keep things secret. You're not a winning head coach to be doing anything like that. It's absolutely BS and bogus that you actually think that you have a competitive advantage when your record is 2-5 and you're supposed to be in a year 3 of rebuild. And then you're telling us that we're close. How ridiculous is this? Sometimes I really do wish that the Arizona Cardinals were somewhere else. Like, I really wish that we were in a completely different market. We're too damn patient for this organization to constantly put us in the same hole and same corner every single year. And it's so sickening. It's so damn sickening. Jonathan Gannon right now is 14-27 in 3 years. Freaking A, man. How are we always here in this situation? Well, I know why. This organization doesn't know how to freaking do anything good. I was only hyping up Monty Austin because I was so damn excited to get rid of Kime. But guess what? We're probably back in the same damn situation. But guess what? We got a bald guy that's even worse, potentially. Maybe not worse, but it doesn't really move the needle. It's so ridiculous, man. Kingdom in the chat says Kyler Murray is coming back Monday night and balling out. I hope so. I hope you're right, Kingdom, but that's not all I'm looking for from Kyler Murray. I hope you're right that he comes back on Monday night and balls out. But what I'm looking for more than that from Kyler is to continually have a success on this organization for weeks on weeks. I'm looking for consistency. I'm not looking for one game and you start going to sleep and start dinking and dunking again. No, I'm looking for consistency. So if you're right, and this is the spark that he needed because he truly feels that there's actually a quarterback that can take his role, right? Not Dobbs, not Desmond Ritter, not any of these guys that are not really good quarterbacks, but Jacoby Brissett is a good quarterback. Not saying he's better than Kyler, but he can run this system a lot better than Kyler can. So I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But I'm not looking just for a one-time, oh, I'm going to be good this year or this game and then suck the rest of. No, I'm looking for consistency from this guy. That's what I'm looking for. So I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I really do. I want to be proved wrong. I want to be proved wrong. I absolutely do. I don't think any team wants this man. Man. Because not just what does he accomplish, but can he stay healthy? That's another big question out there. Last year was probably the only time he was able to stay healthy all damn year. I don't think he missed games every single year, but there was some sort of injury concern when it came down to Kyler. That's the reason why we shift and pivoted over to a run heavy offense to help him out, to not have him be Superman, for him to stay healthy. That's why I'm pretty sure they pivoted over to this type of offense to help him out, to say, hey, we're not going to let you be Superman. We're going to have a run heavy offense, and that's how we're going to be running this offense. We're just going to have you manage, right? Stay healthy. He did it last year, and guess what? Now he's missing 2 games and potentially another third game. We don't know what's happening on Monday night. We don't know. I don't want to say that, but it's crazy to me, man. It's really crazy to me. Kingdom in the chat. By the way, it's me. Oh, what's up, Red? K1 is being unfairly treated. It's the nature of the beast, buddy. It doesn't matter if it's Kyler, Jacoby, Kurt Warner. Do you remember what happened with Kurt Warner? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you were a fan back then, but remember the speculation that was happening then? Oh, it's Liner. Oh, it should be Warner. Oh, it's Liner. Oh, it should be Warner. Liner, Warner. It's the way it is. People want one thing, and that's to win. So if you think that he's getting treated unfairly, it's the nature of the beast. It's a very, very tough business. It's what it is. It's a tough business. You're either gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. You sink or swim. That's how it is, man. And this fan base or this organization, there's nothing different. How many people were talking about Tua Tagovailoa before he actually got extended? People didn't want Tua to get extended, and guess what? They got extended, and now they suck. They just got rid of their general manager, and Mike McDaniel most likely will get fired at the end of the season. So I don't think, quote unquote, to me, he's getting treated unfairly. I think as a quarterback of the NFL, you are getting treated accordingly. You get the flowers when you win, even though it's not your all you, right? Because let's be real, who becomes MVPs? The quarterbacks do. When you win, it's the quarterbacks. Who gets the offensive rookie of the year? The quarterbacks. So I don't think he's getting treated unfairly. I think there's two sides of the coin personally, and if you don't do well, this is kind of the result. I don't agree personally, but I respect where you're coming from, Red. I appreciate you for coming on. I absolutely do. Thanks for the super chat. I don't think he's getting treated unfairly. I think he's getting treated accordingly. I think he's getting treated as he should, as a guy that's getting paid $45+ million to win games. So I gave this organization way too much credit. Way too much credit. Now, one guy that I actually listen to that actually feel like he actually has sources is my guy John Gambador here. Now, he doesn't bat 1,000. That's true, right? He also did say, now, you are never going to say never, but I don't see any team calling to make a blockbuster offer. Damn. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Ain't nobody want this man. Ain't nobody want him. Dang. The truth of the nature here is that the Arizona Cardinals organization, they're always in the same situation over and over again because they don't think too far ahead. There's a reason why they always want to evaluate at the end of the year. Well, other teams, other organizations, they could either say if it works, if it's working, or if it's not working. And this organization doesn't. They like to sit on their hands. They like to wait for baby steps. It's been like that for years. For years. Damn, I miss Bruce Arians. I really do. Austin in the chat says we need a new QB before Trey McBride gets old. The Cardinals aren't even worried about that. The Cardinals are worried about, oh, what can we do to develop a 7-year quarterback? That's what they're worried about. It's crazy. It's crazy. What can we do to accommodate to make him better? Like, that's what they're worried about. Like, it's insane to me. But I agree. We got arguably one of the best tight ends that we've ever had. We've ever had in this organization. The best tight ends we've ever had. And we still don't know what's up with Marv. We don't know if Marvin's going to become that guy. We don't. But I don't think he's fairly getting an opportunity to even try to become your number one guy. When no balls are really going to these guys. Like, Jacoby Brissett is running this offense better. I'm going to be real. He's running it better. Should he be over Kyler? No, because that's not the way this organization works. It's more the money, right? Who's getting paid more? Who's the franchise? Who's the guy? They're not really evaluating. You can't tell me you watched the first 5 weeks in the last 2 weeks of the games. You don't tell me that this offense is running better with a different QB? Then what should we even listen to you for? What should we even listen? If you weren't really evaluating, what should we even listen to you guys for? Adam in the chat says, to be honest, I hope Kyler goes somewhere else and does good. Sometimes certain players don't fit with certain organizations and they flourish. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. You might be right. I hope so too. I hope so too. I don't wish Will ill on him. I don't wish that I don't say he's a bust. He just ain't working here. Just simple as that. He's not working here. And Card's House says Marv is mid. Right now, yeah. Right now, unfortunately, yeah. Unfortunately, right now, yeah. I don't feel like it's all his fault, but that's probably me being a Marvin Harrison Jr. stan, right? That's probably what it is. But the truth of the nature here, ladies and gentlemen, he's a year 2 wide receiver compared to a year 7 quarterback. Hasn't really done anything to help us out at all. Edgar in the chat says Vikings don't want Kyler. Correct. I mean, this would be the most realistic spot I could think of. The Vikings, right? But I don't know. I don't know. Like, at one point, I did think that this could be a realistic spot, especially with Carson Wentz getting hurt for the season. They're trusting a really young quarterback in JJ. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's keep it with the chat. Absolutely chill. What's up, man? Smack the like button. We got over 100 of you guys here on the YouTube side. Smack the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Smack it up. Smack it up. Smack it up. We got Tony saying Cleveland. Well, as of right now, what we're kind of seeing, right, and seeing like the speculation, right? It almost seemed like the Cardinals might be onto something, right? It seemed like the Cardinals might be onto something. But This organization ain't smart, man. It really isn't. And they're going to continue to not be smart. It's just what it is, unfortunately. Like, they're not the smartest of organizations, right? I ended up reaching out to my guy Gamble, and here's the reason why I actually even asked this. The reason why I even asked this is because he actually ended up coming out 37 minutes ago and saying that Kyler Murray has done more this week in practice, so he's trending well. To play, they want him to not be limited, not have a risk of re-injury, and be able to run the offense. And then before that, he says Cardinals had not brought in any quarterbacks this season, so this is a precaution. Won't sign any of them this week. Wanted to take a look at a few guys just to be ready. Signing any of them would depend on Kyler Murray's if he can go. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was 3 quarterbacks the Arizona Cardinals ended up working out earlier this week. Earlier this week, I think it was actually 2 days ago, the Cardinals were meeting with Jeff Driscoll, Kyle Trask, and Logan Woodside. So the Arizona Cardinals, right? So that's another thing to add to the speculation as well, is why the Cardinals are working out 3 quarterbacks. For what reason? For what reason? So it's more of a speculation on this SHIT sandwich that we're kind of living in right now. Monty Ossenford ain't him. I'm sorry, man. Monty Ossenford ain't him. He ain't. Monty isn't him. Jonathan Gannon probably gonna get let go. Let's be real. I don't think the season's gonna salvaged. Call me pessimistic. That's fine. Cardinals country. Let's ride. Sheesh. Kyler going to the Browns for Shador and a 4th round pick. I don't know, man. The truth says do not trade Kyler Murray. Well, we got a Seahawks fan coming in here. Well, as a Seahawks fan, are you saying don't trade Kyler Murray because you want him to stay in this division? Is that why? Truth? And this is coming from my division rival, ladies. And he says do not trade Kyler, he's saying. This is coming from a division rival. He's probably coming from a sense of you keep Kyler because he can't beat the Seahawks. That's probably where he's coming from. Jeff in the chat says, yeah, you would be so much better. I'm not saying I would do better. And honestly, it's a hard job. It's a hard job. You get scrutinized in every single thing. So I'm not sure if this is like sarcasm or like you actually think I'm going to be better at a general manager. I don't think I will be. I really don't. I'm a little too uppity. You know, I'm a little too reactive. So to answer your question, it's a tough job. It really is. You got to make sure that your first round picks hit. You got to make sure that they're Pro Bowlers, right? But at the end of the day, his free agency classes haven't been great. They haven't been great at all. He's had a lot more misses than hits. Trades have been mid or to like not great either. Drafts, if you actually break it down, the 4 third round picks that we had a couple years back or last year, a lot of them have not really worked out for the Cardinals. Here we go. I love Murray for the Cards. Keep you in the basement. There you go. Boom. There it is. Cardinal fans, wake up. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. They want us to keep Kyler Murray. They want us to keep him. You know why? Because he does not win against the Seattle Seahawks. He's, 8-22 against the division. That's why. Good God. Wake up. For the love of God. Oh, man. Here we go again. Let me just give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. The guys are keeping the lights on. That's going to be none other than Sleeper. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, and fantasy points and more for up to 100 times the payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to a $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. Everything will be in the description below of this video. Make sure you check out Sleeper, proud sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan throughout the entirety of the 2025 season. So, K1 on the trading block. No, not on the trading block. It seems like the Cardinals aren't shopping him. per John Gambadoro. And it seems like, per John Gambadoro, he doesn't feel like there is a team that is willing to do a blockbuster trade for him. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, do you blame them? Do you blame them? Oh, yikes. Yikes. Kyler's 8-0 against Seattle. I'm not sure if it's Kyler 8-0, but they have an 8-game winning streak on us. I don't think it's him that's been losing every single, no, because Dobbs was lost as well, and so I don't think it's Kyler all, but it's probably very, very close. But yeah, in the NFC West, 8-22 against the NFC West per StatMuse. Sickening, man. Absolutely sickening. No, I'm good. I'm good without Tua. No, I'm good without Tua. I won't take Tua. I mean, that's fine. I'm cool without Tua. Jason in the chat says, getting rid of Kyler Murray would be the best thing for this franchise. Yeah, agree. It would be a fantastic move. 110%. It would be. They're just not the smartest. They're not the smartest, man. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. How does this organization not know that? How have they not try to plan for the future already? How? I, as a podcaster that watches film that's not the best at it, I'm going to be real with you. I get a lot of takes absolutely wrong. I'm not the best at it. But if I can see that there are some big misses happening from your franchise quarterback that's getting paid $43+ million, and you as an organization that's a multi-billion-dollar organization doesn't see that, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? West in the chat says trade Kyler to the Raiders. I mean, per this tweet, right? And like I said, nobody bats 1,000, right? Nobody bats 1,000, right? But it seems like Cardinals aren't shopping him, and ain't nobody calling for him either. And ain't nobody calling him. And ain't nobody calling for him either. It's the unfortunate beast of what we are as an organization, man. There's a reason why we're the oldest organization to have yet to win a Super Bowl. And I'm not talking about those championships that you always want to claim that they won either in Chicago or in St. Louis. Now I'm talking about Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals have never won a Super Bowl. And the Cardinals have never won a Super Bowl under the Super Bowl era. That's the reason why we're always in the situation over and over and over and over again, because we don't have a franchise, a guy that can actually make a move like this. And guess what? The people that don't want this, I promise you, the people that are saying right now, oh, give Kyler an opportunity, he's going to be better in year 8, or the guys that are saying all these different things, they will be on the train of him getting traded. I promise you. They will say things like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because guess what? Those same guys now want to crap on Steve Keim when people were talking about Steve Keim for the last 2 or 3 years before he got fired. And now it makes sense, right? Oh, the Cardinals doubt it was good. That's the problem, man. That's the problem. Don't be afraid to push the needle. Don't be afraid to be different from the majority. Some people think that if you're negative, you're not a Cardinal fan. That's not how it works. Well, at least that's not my interpretation of being a Cardinal fan or just a fan in general, right? Those same people that didn't say a damn thing about Keim are now the ones that are throwing him under the bus every second they chance they can get. But the moment that Kyler or the Cardinals move off of Kyler, it makes sense to those guys, right? Start now. That's just what the Arizona Cardinals should do. They should try to move off of Kyler Murray, bar none. They should try to. Why not? We're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. We might have made a mistake signing him on a contract. Lil in the chat says it's scripted, Mike. The NFL wants us to draft Archie Manning so they can have the second generation of the Manning. At this point, I mean, at this point, I don't even know if it's even like worth my words to even come out here and say, like, it just, nothing changes, man. Nothing changes. And that's the frustrating part. When you actually sit down and realize that I've been doing this for 7 freaking years. 7 years. And yes, in those 7 years, the Cardinals have done things that actually blew my socks off. And I'm like, damn, that's awesome. It's not all been bad, but the results have been bad. It's rough, man. It's rough. That's where it's coming from. The anger, it's coming from years and years and years of absolute crap football. We want to be better. We want this organization to succeed. And you got Michael Bidwell asking, oh, why wasn't this fan base come over here and support us? Because you have 3 straight losing seasons. 3. And now you're trending on a 4th straight losing season. You want these guys, this fan base in Arizona, the guys that are wishy-washy, that have 2 teams or 3 teams, depending on what bandwagon they want to jump on. You want to get them on? Win. Win. As simple as that. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I miss 2015. I do too. I do too. I'm so sick of it, man. I'm so freaking sick of it. Yeah, it was a mistake signing Kyler. The video game / The problem with the NFL, and here's the thing, I'm not going to act like I wasn't on board with Kyler getting signed. I'm not going to act like, oh, I told you guys we shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to act like that. I was on board with Kyler getting signed. But hindsight's 2020. We made a mistake. We made a mistake. You never want to feel like you're stuck with the quarterback. That's the problem. I feel like I'm stuck with him. Like the Miami Dolphins fans feel like they're stuck with Tua. You never want to feel like that. And I feel like I'm stuck. Not that I want him here, but I feel like I'm stuck with him. Will he ever win the Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Will he ever win a Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals? Let me know in the chat. Will Kyler Murray ever win a Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals? Yes or no? That's all I'm asking. Yes or no? Because this is what it all comes down to. Do you have a franchise quarterback that's going to win you the division, multiple years, or a Super Bowl? Will he ever win a Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals? Yes or no? And if you think yes, that's fine. Put it in the chat. That's completely okay if you think he is. Patrick in the chat says no. Jake, no. Eric, nope. Victor, nope. Then what are we doing here? What are we doing, Cardinals organization? What are we doing? Romero in the chat says no. Lil in the chat says a real head coach like Mike Tomlin can probably fix Kyler. Maybe. But do we have a Mike Tomlin growing off trees? We don't. Unfortunately, we go for the guys like Jonathan Gannon with no experience, and it worked for us with Bruce Arians. So I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, the Arizona Cardinals need to go after somebody with experience. Although I do feel like the Cardinals need to go after somebody with experience that has done it in the NFL. Of course I do, but like it's worked out with Bruce, right? Bruce was not a head coach, although he was an interim. Did good with the Colts. Had some other times with other NFL teams, and he got his opportunity. He flourished, and he is a Super Bowl winning head coach, not with us, but with the Bucs. But like, this is unfortunately the nature that we're living in right now. Randall in the chat says, yes, give Kyler 7 more years to develop. There it is. That's what we need. 7 more years of mediocrity. And I know this is facetious. I know you're being sarcastic, Randall. This is not a shot at you, but this is what I feel like Kyler Murray stands wants. The Kyler Murray stands want us to stay in this crazy mediocrity of BS. Are we good enough? No, we're not. but we got a franchise quarterback because we're paying him. But ain't nobody want Kyler. There's 31 other teams, and nobody calling about him. Nobody's calling about him. Good God, it's crazy. How are we here? GTO says he'll never win a playoff game here. Yeah, no risk and no biscuit. Randall V in the chat says, yes, Kyler will win a Super Bowl here. Just give him 7 more years to develop. Love to see it. Love to see it. The Cardinals will never win a Super Bowl. Okay, fair. 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 BA didn't have any other option, so he took the job with the Cardinals to prove he can run a team. He left once it was unproven, or he was proven. I think he truly left because the Cardinals fan base and Michael Bidwell wanted him to get rid of his guy, Amos. What was his name? Let me see here. Amos Jones. Amos Jones. Remember that name? Amos Jones. That's who everybody so badly wanted the Arizona Cardinals and Bruce Arians to fire. And I believe Michael Bidwell got to him and says, you need to let go of your guy. And he didn't want to do that. He's very, very big on keeping the guys he believed in-house. Cardinals forced his hand. He retired. He tried broadcasting. He sucked at it. He wasn't good. Came back and won a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. I think that is the main reason why Bruce Arians left. But that's just speculation. That's speculation. Victor in the chat says the management, get rid of everyone. It's time to start over and over again. We need a change before our core players request trades and put us in a worse situation. It's brutal, man. It really is. Kyler Murray stands, and I know they're young. I get it. They're like 13, 14 years old. Maybe some might be in their 20s. I get it. And they don't know anything other than Kyler Murray because he's been here for 7 freaking years. I get it. But sometimes the best time to cut bait is when he's got his highest draft value. And guess what? The Cardinals probably should have done it last year. And that's the reason why I made you need to have a quarterback plan. And the Cardinals didn't do that. Of course they didn't. Martin in the chat says, unfortunately, no. We've only been to one playoff game with Kyler, and that was an absolute blowout in 7 years. Only one playoff game and continuous losing seasons. Kyler's just not the guy. Yeah, I mean, how else do you shake it out? House. They got a team that can compete. And I'm not saying a Super Bowl team. No, I don't think the Cardinals have a Super Bowl team, but they got a team to compete in the NFL. And you see it week in and week out. And no, every loss isn't on Kyler. But when you're paying somebody $43+ million a year, you need to be that X factor. You need to be that X factor. That's what you need to be. And you get your flowers when you win, and you get the hate when you lose. It's what it is. It happens for years and years and years. It hasn't just started with Kyler. Kyler Murray is a quarterback of a franchise with 32 teams in the NFL. He is treated accordingly. And I saw a tweet out there about, oh man, the Cardinals never put an offensive line in front of Kyler. Oh, woe is me. They made moves. They probably weren't the best moves, but they try to bring people in. He wanted Paris Johnson. You got Paris Johnson. You got arguably one of the best centers out there in Hudson. Rodney Hudson, although he kind of sucked here, but the Cardinals made moves. They made attempts. It's not like they absolutely avoided it. Also, keep in mind, when you're drafting guys, 32 of those picks in the first round, I promise you, 1 or 2 of those guys will be superstars. 4 or 5 or 6 of them will be starters. And the rest are mid. It's so hard to hit in the draft. So damn hard to hit on the draft. So people want to just get offensive linemen just because, oh, just get it, just to get it. That is not going to prove anything. Not going to prove anything. Cardinals believed in Paris. Okay, they got Paris. I mean, he's yet to be a Pro Bowler. I mean, is that all his fault? No. Is it because he plays for the Cardinals? Probably. But they've tried to make moves to accommodate this Arizona Cardinal offensive line. They did. Jay, what's up, Jay? Kyler's traumatized. He just can't stay in the pocket anymore. He's got walloped a few times by Aaron Donald and others, and he just can't fix that anymore. He just doesn't want to get hit. Yeah, well, I mean, there's also that side of the coin too. Can he stay healthy? We saw him stay healthy last year, and we were sold a bag of goods that unfortunately got rotten. Same thing with James Conner. James Conner was able to stay healthy last year. We were sold a bag of goods and unfortunately not able to stay healthy. And that's why those Cardinal fans wanted Cam Scatterbo. Now, Cam Scatterbo got hurt as well. He's done for the season with a leg injury / ankle and foot and whatever else he ended up hurting, right? But I get it. You don't think Keim did? Yeah, Keim did really, really good trades. That's for sure. So what's up, man? Mike, remember I told you this after 2021, we needed to cut bait. We definitely couldn't have traded him then. And yeah, I mean, there was plenty of people, 100%. And yeah, you definitely were one of them, Soul, and I appreciate you for coming back and obviously staying true to the channel. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, we have to learn. And here's the unfortunate part. If the Cardinals move off the next one, Kyler Murray has already put a bad taste in the mouth of those guys that already knew, like my guy Soul, but now we're having this in the back of our minds. Is he gonna be pulling a Kyler Murray and not do really well after he gets paid? And here's the thing: it's not like Kyler Murray is a bottom. That's not what I'm saying. He's not a bottom dweller. He's a top 15, top 16 quarterback in the NFL. He is. He is. But the problem is that he's not letting it on the field. He's not winning you games. Man. Well, guess what? If I pounded the table for Kyler Murray to not get extended, I would have had some sort of I was right moment, but it doesn't fix the thing. I mean, we're still here. We're still here, unfortunately. Damn, oh damn, oh damn. Cardinals have signed Kyler to a big contract because of Keim, still paying for Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. Truth, what's up, man? Cards can definitely compete. Your record doesn't. I agree. I agree. I agree. Go get Bear out of BYU. I don't know who that is. I'll have to look him up. Yeah, that contract might be the worst extension ever in the Cardinals' history. Along with Keim and Cliff. Along with Keim and Cliff. It's just all these things come back and haunt us, man. That's what it all comes down to, unfortunately. Karen, what's up, Karen? There's no enthusiasm on the sideline, so I'm sure there is none in the locker room. Where is the leadership? They all look fed up with the BS. Murray's not a leader. Yeah, I mean, well, this is going to be something that's always going to be plaguing his career. It always is. And whether you get Cardinal players, right? If you get Cardinal players coming out and saying positive things, for some reason, a lot of those Kyler Murray stands really take that to heart because they don't understand what it's like to actually have a job. Because if you have a job, you don't say anything about your employees, your co-employees. You don't say anything about your boss if you want to keep that job, right? They don't understand the real world. So you hear Marvin Harrison Jr. come out and says, oh, yeah, Kyler Murray is a leader because X, Y, and Z. People take that to the grave. What do you expect them to say? What do you expect Marvin Harrison Jr. to say? I mean, he's a leader, but I want him to be a leader in a different way. And this is what I can tell you, X, Y, Z. What do you want him to say? Same thing with Trey McBride. All the leaders, their job is to keep everything in-house. What don't people understand about that? I see so many people go back and forth saying, oh, look at this. This proves that he is a leader. Marvin Harrison Jr. says that he's the leader, so he has to be a leader. I got to trust what's in the locker room. not having that real life experience really kind of sometimes hinders people's clouded mentality of not understanding that people that work with each other, they want to be civil and they want to create cohesiveness and they want to have something to point and drive to. You're not going to throw people under the bus. It's just what it is. It's what it is. I mean, shocking news? No, but the real nature of the beast is what it is. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. I don't get it. And we're always in the same situation over and over, same situation over and over again. Groundhog's Day. Here we go. Let's read a couple more chats. We're about to hit the hour mark, so we're going to be closing up shop right now. So to answer the question for the people that are just joining in here, is Kyler Murray actually getting traded? We got my guy John Gambadoro coming out here and responding to me on X/Twitter. I ended up asking him this after he said that Kyler Murray is trending and actually has practiced a lot this week compared to the other weeks. So it's trending in the right direction, but he's still limited on the injury report per Thursday. If he's a full go on Friday, he's most likely going to be the guy on Monday. If he's still limited today, we're going to have to kind of wait and see how that all shakes out. But John Gambardoro ended up coming out and says this: no, Kyler is not getting traded. There has been no calls for him, and they are not shopping him. Now, you are never supposed to say never, but I don't see any team calling to make a blockbuster offer. Ain't nobody want him. Ain't nobody want Kyler Murray. That's the truth of the nature, ladies and gentlemen. Ain't nobody want him.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, man. You're not that guy, Kyler Murray. Unfortunately, you're not the guy that's going to be coveted the big blockbuster trade, or at least per my guy John Gambadoro. All right. We'll be closing up shop right now, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of an insight. I mean, if it doesn't, it is what it is. We still got, next 4 days for the trade deadline for us to kind of wait on pins and needles to see if this Arizona Cardinals can do something smart for a change. But let's just prepare for another mid to not really doing anything of a trade deadline for the Cardinals. But as of right now, let's close up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I apologize for constant coughing, but I'm still trying to get over this bug that I have. We'll be closing up shop right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are all amazing. Smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe on the road to 19K. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.